Chapter 15, Sibling Fights. Watching a fork stick in my sister's face. Growing up in an often unstable home with 9 obnoxious children meant that sometimes our trivial arguments escalated into something more dangerous than simple brother-sister tiffs. There were so many of these daily disputes that I learned not to look up from the comic book I was reading until someone threw a sucker punch or a razor-edged object in my direction. What the? Many of the disputes stemmed from one of us, usually me or one of the boys, failing to perform any of our daily chores, and the others, typically the girls, complaining to my parents about the inhumane unfairness of it all. To alleviate this, Carrie posted a somber communique on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper on the refrigerator, outlining the responsibilities we shared. She enjoyed using multiple exclamation points and highlighted key words with the capital letters for emphases. In black magic marker, it read, "New kitchen rules starting today. After each meal, 5 of us have to clean the kitchen. 1 person must clear the table and stove. 1 person must wipe the table and stove. 1 person must sweep the floor. 1 person must wash the dishes. 1 person must dry and put away the dishes. No exceptions. Mark can go to the bathroom after chores are finished." She means business. For several years, whenever I read or heard the word must, I cringed and looked around for my taskmaster sister. She should have been a prison guard. "We must do a full body cavity search now." Carrie added the last sentence specifically calling out Mark, because she knew he liked to dodge tasks by sitting on the toilet reading newspapers for long stretches of time. "Where's Mark? He's supposed to sweep the floor. Check the bathroom, and if he doesn't answer, look under the door to see if he's hiding. He's so busted." After her list of responsibilities was created, we fought about who was supposed to do each of these boring chores because it took far less time to run a wet cloth over a table and a stove than it did to wash and dry the dishes. Carrie's solution was to add various rotating schedules beneath the kitchen rules. But these were difficult to understand and harder to enforce. Most nights it became a verbal battle of first dibs that frustrated my persnickety sisters because Mark and I were quicker at dibsying than they were. We practiced shortening the expression until we became proficient at yelling, "Fibs!" We rule. One hot and muggy summer afternoon in our house with no air conditioning, Mark quarreled with Carrie over drying dishes. When 11 people consume 3 meals a day, pots, plates, glasses, and silverware need to be cleaned and dried at least twice a day. "A 3-year-old blind girl can dry quicker than you," Carrie remarked while shaking her head. "Oh yeah?" Mark responded. "Well, a blind midget with leprosy reads faster than you." Helen Keller insults, random leper, and crass little people comments seemed topical and relevant that season. "At least I could read, you moron," she snorted in an annoyed voice reserved for stupid little brothers. Mark took offense at her condescending tone and tossed a handful of forks and knives from his towel towards my sister's head. His aim proved to be excellent. A dinner fork stuck in my sister's face. Literally. It hung loosely from her right cheek, and although the wound didn't appear to be serious or life-threatening, we were shocked and titillated. "That's gotta hurt. I wonder if I can see the times from inside of her mouth." "Scott, get in here now," I yelled. "You need to see this." Carrie, realizing a 4-pronged implement was embedded in her face, started screaming like an errant tomahawk had struck her and split open her scalp. "Oh my God, what have you done to my face?" If there were cartoon thoughts above her head, it would have included multiple exclamation points, several hashtags, asterisks, and question marks. From my seat at the kitchen table, watching and listening to a mean-spirited argument escalate into a sideshow spectacle was entertaining. It wasn't often I witnessed eating utensils sticking horizontally out of my sister's cheek, blood dripping onto the dirty linoleum floor. I stood up, marked my place in the comic book, and stepped closer to see the freakish damage up close. "Where's my camera? This is bitchin'." You scarred me for life, my sister shrieked. I hate you! She bolted past me and into the living room to examine her wound in the mirror. You should have ducked, Mark blurted, as surprised as anyone about the ripple effect of his impulsive action. He started drying dishes faster than ever, as if his newfound devotion to his least favorite chore might lessen his inevitable punishment. Becky and Kelly ran down to the basement to tell my mother the juicy and lurid news, and she came charging up the stairs. What the hell happened? At that moment, 8 of us blurted out a cacophony of details assigning blame. Pointing fingers at the obvious suspect in front of my parents was a rewarding and popular game we played whenever we could. Carrie dashed back into the scene of the crime, cradling the fork lodged in her face. She knew from experience that Mark would receive a more severe punishment if Mom witnessed the unregistered murder weapon while it was still stuck in her face. Mark Allen, he's in deep doo-doo. When my mother addressed us by our first and middle names, we were in big trouble and facing the maximum sentence allowed by Leonard martial law. She started it, Mark stated, shuffling his feet nervously. You stabbed me with a fork. I never stabbed you, it just stuck. Stop the damn fighting before I kill both of you, Mom screamed. She laid her burning cigarette in an ashtray, examined my sister's bloody face, and ordered her to pull the fork out. Carrie tugged slowly and until the prongs came free, threw the fork at Mark, and sprinted to the bathroom to apply a cold washcloth to her face. She slammed the door and locked it behind her. The blood-stained instrument missed Mark's head, clanged loudly against a wooden kitchen cabinet, and slid to the floor. Finish the dishes by yourself and go to your room, my mother told Mark. You're grounded for 2 weeks. But, Mom, I didn't mean to... Not another word. My mother marched to the bathroom and told Carrie to unlock the door. I heard muffled cries, and the brief episode ended. I demand an encore. Seconds later, I leaned into Mark and whispered, I can't believe it stuck in her face. I nodded at my brother and shrugged my shoulders with a swarmy, I feel your pain. I'm delighted it was you and not me pose. We both understood the notoriety of this incident would linger longer than most of our less colorful family skirmishes. Carrie's scar. It looked like a 2-headed rattlesnake bit her. Eventually healed, but the event provided some dark humor during the months afterward. During heated arguments, we'd yell, If you don't stop that this minute, I'm going to shove a fork in you. Or, want me to have Mark grab some silverware? Ask Carrie how sharp tines felt in her face. Finally, when arguing with Mark, someone would state matter-of-factly, Helen Keller would have stuck a spoon, fork, and knife in her cheek. In the Leonard house, Darwinism ruled. If something or someone didn't kill us, we made sure Mom or Dad knew whom to punish with our accurate and judgmental finger pointing.